to get up and dress up and do everything that you. Yahweh, Yahweh, there is no other God before you. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are. My name's Rachel Nabude, and as usual, I am here to bring you another Luganda proverb. I have been doing a series on the channel, the series of Luganda Proverbs, hoping that you will be benefiting from them. And please do comment on the Luganda Proverbs and give me more advice. You'll be interested to know that as I am also putting these on the channel, I'm also writing a book. And the Luganda Proverbs book I'm doing this year is covering relationships, child development, conflict, and war. I hope that this book will be out before the end of the year, and please look out for it. My objective, my aim since 2016 was to write a book every year. And obviously this year, with all that has gone on, I am so behind, because books that I write normally come out in the spring, and we are now going into winter and I haven't got a book. Obviously with what has happened this year, COVID-19 and everything else that has disrupted our lives, it has been quite difficult. But hey ho, I have kicked myself, and I am on all the eyes are on the ball, and hopefully it will come out before the end of this year. And just to encourage everyone out there, if you ever wanted to write a book, do write a book, because it's a good thing to write a book, and it's not hard. If you give yourself a commitment to write 200 words every day, by the end of a month or by the end of 10 days, you have 2,000 words. And within a month, you have 6,000 words. Multiply that by 10, within a year, you should have at least 60,000 words. And you can cut that down to 45,000 words. There you go, you've got your book. So be consistent every day, write something, and then until you have that book. Please do write your experiences. People who live in the diaspora, I encourage you to write your experiences, because there's so much that we have, the history, the way we have lived and everything else. Please do write it down. Even people in Africa, write your own history. Don't let somebody else come in your country and write your history. It is up to you to write it and pass it on to your children. What I'm going to share today is another child development, the last one of child development, Luganda Proverbs, and this one is called Akaakyama, amamera, bw'okagolola, kamenyeka, bumenyesi. The equivalent version of that proverb in English, I think, would be, just as a twig is bent, the tree is inclined. So what I'm going to try and do is to read what I have written here, and I hope you get something from it. A seedling grows towards the source of natural light. If the light is overshadowed, the plant will grow in a crooked way in search of that light. An abrupt attempt to straighten such a plant will result in brokenness that cannot be mended. To achieve reasonable straightening of a crooked plant, the gardener must strap the crooked plant on a straight pole that is firmly grounded and cannot waver easily. In addition, if the source of light is fixed, the plant's position must be changed so that it can seek its light from a different angle, or move the source of light to the opposite side of a fixed plant. In the absence of a natural light, plants can grow up to a certain height in their life and no further. Although perennial plants can mature under artificial lighting, they would never look or taste the same as the plant that was exposed to natural balanced lighting. However, perennial plants need the sun to blossom to maturity. That is why such plants shrivel away under artificial lighting, or twist and turn in search of natural light. Therefore, its hunger for light makes a plant blossom and helps it to mature into a strong plant.
Likewise, children have this natural hunger for blossoming in life. Parents and guardians are the source of that light that can make a child blossom or wither away.
Remember that just as the sun can help a plant grow, in the same way it can help it die by scorching it down with too much sunlight. Parenting and guardianship has a similar impact upon growing children, especially during their formative years when they cannot tell the difference between good and bad parenting, destructive and constructive parenting, or destructive and constructive disciplining of a child.
If parenting is overshadowed with crooked and unbalanced behavior, expect the children to be consistent with what they are exposed to.
Any attempt to correct them in such an environment will only result in total disaster.
Effective correction of behavior for a child meandering for a better light can come about by introducing a straight pole in the form of a role model who can help the child improve their personal usefulness in society.
Just as it would take time for a crooked plant to straighten, the role model must be patient to work with their mentee for a very, very long time. The role model must also be consistent and well grounded in the behavior that a child is seeking to master. They must be readily available during the time the child needs their support. Intermittent mentoring is not useful as it creates relapses in bad behavior.
Similarly, untimely removal of this support will be like taking away a walking stick from a person with disability after their stiff, crooked muscles have been relaxed to walk with a mental frame.
Whereas the person with disability may have been able to walk unassisted prior to treatment with the use of a stiff muscle of their disability, total removal of assisted support after the relaxation of those muscles will totally disempower them.
Another approach can be to change the child's source of light by moving them from harmful parents and thus begin to adopt new behavior. This is where fostering comes into play.
In an attempt to improve the outcome of such children, in Buganda society, many such children would be exposed to culture, order, and discipline in the homes of individuals who are more authoritative than the child's parents. This could be education institutions, this could be in the homes of Saza chiefs, and this could be in the homes of relatives.
There are times when a source of light has to be removed from the child's life, especially when abuse of any kind has been identified.
For example, a man with a wife who is abusive to their stepchildren should pay attention and ensure that such a parent is removed from his children's lives, because if they don't do that, the children's outcome in life would be different and it wouldn't be what the father intended it to be.
Bear in mind that in the absence of a corrective source of light, the tree will eventually die, no matter how it was exposed to the right lighting in its early years. Always try to expose your children to the right source of light that will help them absorb a balanced set of behaviors that will make them strong to survive in any environment they may be in.
There is a saying that if a child outsmarts the nanny, discipline the child by getting rid of that nanny and introduce a nanny who would be able to introduce order, culture and discipline in the life of that child.
The Bible says in Proverbs chapter 13 verse 24,
"He who hates his child spares them the rod, but he who loves them disciplines them promptly." Akaakyama, amamera, bw'okagolola, kamenyeka, bumenyesi. When was all was there? Difficult to get up and dress up and do everything that you.
Yahweh, Yahweh, there is no other God.